to implement a project, but it has to be well managed. And for it to be well managed, there must be a plan that needs to be followed. So this is why we are saying a contract management plan is a tool, the tool that is used to implement and manage the contract as agreed. So this one, this tool comes in a form of a document. Is a document that is agreed upon by the parties to help them in monitoring the implementation of the project in question. So just like here, the other point, as part of the definition, we are saying it's a comprehensive document outlining the processes and procedures for managing contracts from its initiation stage to the closure, right? Now, here, let me say one thing. We are saying a definition, and on the definition, at least we are bringing two statements that are similar, but of course they are a bit different. They are talking about the same thing, but they are being presented differently. This is very important for us, so that whenever we are tackling questions like these ones, what is this, or can you define this, can you, at least it's up to you. If you can't remember the other version of the definition, maybe you can use the other. It helps. Unfortunately, one thing I observed during exams, marking exams, that is, some people had their own understanding of things, whereby whenever they were answering questions, they could just put up whatever they feel like this is right according to them. At times, it makes sense. So now what I do with those people, that's why I was saying study news is very difficult to announce. What I do, I do not dismiss you people. If you write your own things that you heard maybe from Banjiro Kutugwe, I don't dismiss you, because you have an argument. And so on and so forth. I give you marks. Please refer to the materials. Materials I get. So, ngati unaona chita argument chabwino nditu wambi cha 5 marks ndo pasa 1. Don't question me. Muti pasa 1 ifayani. Because malemba za kubwandiro za mutu manu kaza kujenu mati yani mapita anthu kuja mati ya oku Dubai malemba za ku Dubai zosiyana ndi zimemayenera. So then I say this is a comprehensive document. It is a document. Now this document, what does it contain? It contains a lot of things. Of course, there are some components that are here. We are also going to see them. But one thing we should take note of is that this document shows key details, either being dependencies, flexible and immovable dates, plus anything else that is seen to be necessary for effective contract management. All those ones are detailed in there, in that document. So, as we'll be looking at the components of this one, you will see the component is component, and so on and so forth. So, in addition, it shows things like activities and dates, and these ones are specifically stated in the contract as well. So, some of the things that may contain in that plan, contract management plan, may also be contained in the contract document itself. Before we go far, take note that despite the fact that this is a document that is there to guide us in the successful implementation of whatever we're doing, this document is not binding. So it's different from the contract. We're together, right? Contract management plan and the contract document highlight the distinction from so remaining, right? Distinction inai is binding, whereas the other one is not binding. Okay. So this document again gives an overview of the governance now of the picture. Of the contract, from operational, financial, performance, and reporting perspectives. So it gives you an overview. of the governance of the contract. Kodi contract ndio mati kuchokera pa chiyambi ukafika ku mapeto ukana kuti amwene tamalizatu iye ndisedwa motani. This document guides, or maybe gives you the picture, the governance picture. Blessings, you have a question? Anthu amuno ndakanda kwabweka peni sabweza. Borrow that guy at your own risk. You have saved the soul. Ndikanabe saso peni yanga. Twende namba kumva chisoni uta muna ndikupasa munthu. Thanks brother. Thanks. Muna ndiyo mwabwerekesa kokole. Anthu abwino. Okay, so let's proceed. What's the importance of having such a document? Here are some of the benefits of having such a document. It ensures compliance with terms and conditions. That's one thing. At the same time, it acts as a net, a safety net, protecting both of you or both parties. How and why? Because it minimizes risks and disputes. Much as we know that a risk is like an accident, risks basically are unavoidable. That's what we say. But they can be minimized. Just like accidents, road accidents, we always say, some accidents are avoidable, some accidents are ABCD, whatever. It's true. But an accident will always be there. But at least you can minimize. So having such a safety net with you, both of you, that's both parties, are protected from unnecessary disputes. See, disputes will always arise from two things. Of course, the parties was introduced as two major things kuma disputes. One, misunderstanding, not miscommunication. Imenga kalebo pakati pa parties awiri. Wina kuyankhula china wina kuona ngati yakutanthauza china. You end up into a dispute. So that's a misunderstanding. Then there are some other disputes that will arise from deliberate actions from either party. Somebody just decides to sabotage whatever you people are doing. Or maybe somebody just wants to exploit the other to his or her own benefits, disregarding the other party's feelings. A dispute arises. Now, if you have a document that is governing, that is giving you an overall picture of the governance structure of the whole thing that is going to happen there, you can avoid some of the risks or disputes. Pena ngati muli inu yatambwali ofuna ona kuti mujere pa masuku pa mutu anzanu komano chifukwa cha guiding document chili chimene pachapo chiche umatha kuchita manyazi mafuna upange zinthu zina ukuchiona chimene chikuyang'ana yoti anyway it's okay basi awaso because that one is kind of is safeguarding the successful implementation of the program or the project, so that none of the parties should abuse the other. So it enhances what? Communication and collaboration. It enhances collaboration and communication. Because sinanga document tumasinthana awali nayo awaso ali nayo. Mukudziwa tikafika stage 8 timene atipangezi. Ndio tunose mukudziwa mumauzana. So collaboration kamene kugwira ntchito limodzi kumanga kupanga enhance. There is cohesion, kumvana ndithu chimvano cha mavu chimakhala chilipo. Thanks to this document. So mbuyo mutakatuma kama zona kuti once a contract has been awarded to a contractor, you people, you have also to keep an eye on what the contractor is doing. You need to do your monitoring, whatever, as part of contract management. Kamna project management, nazi kamba mbuyo. Timapeleka zisanzo zona kuti that's why project kama pakuda implement timaona titenge ngati muna nsewu kupangidwa contractor ali busy pa site komanso client amapita kuso pa site pacho kugwisa ntchito ma agency yake kaja mati ma quantity surveyors kaya whatever ma engineers yake amapita makaonera so part of monitoring, right? So amene ajamwa akapanga monitoring image amakhala ndi checklist yawo nawonso. Checklist yawo ndi imeneyi plan yomwe ili apapaya. This document forms part of the checklist imene client amagwisa ntchito pochita monitor, pochita nawo manage zomwe zikuchitika zija, osati kungomusira yekha contractor. So whenever you initiate something, you need to harvest something. Whenever you invest, you always expect results at the end of the day in the name of benefits. So whenever you're initiating a project and you have assigned somebody, a contractor, to do it for you, you want to benefit something. You want to get some value out of it. So this management that you are doing here, it is helping you to make sure that you are maximizing those benefits that you are looking for. You are maximizing the value that you were looking for. This can be some of the benefits. Yes, madam, before I ask a question, go ahead. The statement of work. Any other person who can help us to tackle this important question? The statement of work and the contract management plan. Is there any difference or are they the same? What do you think? House, I'm asking the House now. The House of Commons. Arube, muntu amene ngakhale wachiwiri kuyankhula siku la lero ndi Arube. What do you think? Ndikacho kwa Arube kwa Alexander. Zamimba. Lero kulibe kupera na chisoni. Palibe zotayambisa nthu. Alibe kutipangira na transfer ngati ujeni chipanda cha mowa. Kuti amwene gwiranitu ngati chonchi. Atitere ayi. Blessings. Help a sister. Okay. Okay. Another person with a different view. Blessings has submitted his side of the story anyway. And I want to. What do you think? Shalom. Okay, Jabun. Let us share over that one. And also let us reserve his response and see how it goes, right? Yeah, but before we leave this place, we'll come back to that one, then we'll see for ourselves. Zilimozi, Dizosiana, Kabina, whatever, right? But I've taken note of that one. Let's proceed. My objectives. Why do we need to have this thing? One is the act of ensuring that there's compliance to the contract. But contract what? Contract terms and conditions. Contract expectations. When the contract has been signed, and then meaning that somebody has been given the responsibility to implement whatever is supposed to be implemented, to ensure that this person or this firm is complying to what is contained in this document, at least the plan, this document called contract management plan, has to be there. Secondly, takamba za management of risks and disputes, the objective imene yomweso kumapeto ke makakhala benefit ngati imene tinaonera mucha. This one again, it helps us to monitor and of course report performance. Just like we've seen with the benefits of having this document, yes, an objective here was the same. An objective was to optimize the value of that contract. That's an objective. At the end of the day, we find that we are realizing the benefit. That's why we have seen it in the previous slide, that it is one of the benefits or one of the importance of this documenting. So we have always said this times without number, that relationships need to be well managed. Business relationships, that is, they need to be well managed. To start a relationship is one thing, to sustain it is a different thing. True or false? True, right? What do you mean notice false? It's false, eh? Shafiq? Yes. True or false? What do you think? From your personal experience. From your personal experience. What experience? I have no experience. You have no experience? I have no experience. Shalom. This guy says doesn't have experience. Eh? Well, so no, only experience, eh? I know this is the best place where you are. You're going to have that experience, my dear. Talk to me after 3 months. Well, okay, so we are saying in business relationships, to start that relationship becomes easy because you know the client or the client or the partner to deal with, whatever, it becomes easy. But now for you to sustain that relationship is a different thing altogether, of which care has to be taken to make sure that you are managing that relationship. So having these documents to help you in the monitoring of the contract that is there, it helps to improve the relationship between the parties in question. Timagamba za contract management plan. Ndeti manina zona kuti this thing, it has its own components. So ma components ndi ngati majani, ma elements kana magawo china chake. So china chake tiwamba papachi ndi chi document chimenechi chochedwa contract management plan, ndi chili ndi magawo. Ndi ena mwa magawo akewo ndomwe tikuona apa. Contract scope and objectives, that party talks about it. And good enough, we have a template, and I will share with you that template as well, where you are going to see these components. So component imene ukamba za scope and objective ndi iyi kutoka hapa kuthera hapa. And then contract administration, how we are going to be, the contract is being administered. This component talks about it and what are some of the things in there in that component, because in that component there are also things in there. Now, when it comes to risk management, there's a part also that is there to make sure that you are managing the risks, both of you, communication plan, and so on and so forth. So should it happens that the inevitable has happened, we are now in a dispute. We are now in a state of, we are at the verge of collapsing because we are not understanding each other. What shall we do? Kudaza tithandize ndi ndani? Party imeneyo ilipo, imene kukamba nkhani zimene zozo, component imeneyo. Mupati ya component ya mu document chimenecho tikuti contract management plan icha nkhani imene yoyo ilimo, and of course contract close out and review. Bwezeka? Wala tupe. Atupe luminga. Mmalo wera nkhani za ukubanja. Gender balance sikuteka. Muta kusinthana. Okay, program ikulena kuti charity ukhale apo kuti u blessings abwera. Atupere anzake kusakwaona yako kondo. Uwezi mvuta iko. Msi. Awa ngwane nda? Zimu kwa manjata mine. Anaononga zifulinda? Akuta anaononga zifulinda? So, okay, now you successfully corrupted that guy there. Now you're on a mission to corrupt somebody else. My friend, you're not safe. Eh. Azukai kise? I didn't have experience to come back on. I didn't know. I'm learning on the job. I'm learning on the job. Bwana Shafik, I didn't know a legend. Zovura kwambiri aizosakhala kuno waka kwambiri zovura kwambiri. Aikolinga tokonda ni shalom wakonda nduyu mambala ai kuto apo chimoto nduje nuyu mambala mambala ndeme sali bwino. Okay, so tikamapanga zinthu zona kuti we are trying to manage a contract. There are always people with different responsibilities. Those people are given responsibilities to manage different tasks so that there is a successful implementation of whatever is. Oh yeah. Sorry? You got it? Mwati za legend zukhala bwanje amambala oni muzati mangisa siri kuona ni bwino mwamba kudesa nkhawa. Are we safe here? Very safe, huh? Now look. What is that? I don't know. Yeah, say something. Finally. Okay, as it says, don't worry. We'll get back to that one. It's okay. Don't worry. I believe he's right. There must be something, but don't worry. Okay, we'll take care of that one. It's okay. But just like what has happened with that guy there, be careful as well with your neighbor, the one who's sitting next to you. Nida? What Mambala, by the way, what does Mambala mean? Mambala. Good sentence? Ntengo ni Mambala. Ama nada adi Ntengo ni Mambala. I don't know what mantoza yang. Okay, chabwe. So, timagamba sona kuti. Here the contract is there. And the contractor is there, which is one party. And the other party is you, the client. Now you are helping each other to manage that one. If you look at it from either party's perspective, the following individuals will still be there. If you look at it from either party's perspective, these individuals will still be there. Why are these individuals there? They are there to ensure that there is proper management of the whole thing and it is being executed successfully. And those people, they always have their respective responsibilities. For example, in a film, there shall always be a legal advisor. A legal mind shall always be there to do what? To advise the film on the legality and the illegality of some of the things that they do. So, in a contract management team, we want to manage this contract. One, we as the clients, we have to see to it that we have this team that is there to manage or to monitor the successful implementation of the contract in question comprises of some of these individuals. So a legal mind has to be there. And of course, the project manager has to be there. Who else? The procurement officer has to be there. Because all these people we are mentioning, they have a stake in what is happening. And of course, the contract manager. So, here is a question. Tikayangana maroza ma responsibilities anthu amene tachula papawa ndeno anthu tikwachulawo tachulapo contract manager then tikuchulaponso project manager. Any difference? Any difference? Here is our entity here. Ifeyo bungwero ndifeyo. So now tikufuna ena akati gwirire ntchito. Then we are saying mutimu yoyang'anira ntchito iyi muli a contract manager komanso a project manager. Ndiyeti kuti kusiyana nkotani pa anthu awiri amene. Pali kusiyana kapena ayi. Why? Kapena is this just a repetition of what we are doing here? Pali kusiyana? All right. Yes, that's something.
I feel like the contract manager oversees whatever activities are being done in the project. They align with the contract agreement.
Okay.
As well as the expectations. While the project manager ensures that the project is being done according to what was agreed between both parties.
Okay. Yes. All right. Another person, yes, Atubele, you also said kuti pali kusiyana.
Contract manager, the one responsible for aligning the contract with the other party, like who will be leading the contract, what kind of members will be involved in such contract from both parties, and overseeing relationship of the contract. And now, he or she gives it to the project manager or assist the project, how it is executed.
Okay. Sharon, you have been sandwiched by two guys who are trying to corrupt you with their lies. Which one are you agreeing with? Or are you agreeing with both? Okay. So are you agreeing with them? Are you sure? Kobe, what do you think? What do you think? Is this see, my friend, this is just your opportunity to win that lady here. Because those two guys with their lies, with those guys with their lies, they think they are taking her home. They are not. I don't want to see them taking her home. Please do your best. What do you think? This is your opportunity. In fact, golden opportunity. Not just an opportunity, come on, golden opportunity. That criminal there then is in campus and can win. Okay, Alexander. Anything, any input? All right. Okay. So what these two gentlemen are saying, I agree with them. Of which I would say, when we are looking at somebody who is managing the contract, this person or this individual has a wider scope as compared to somebody who is managing the project in question. Because now the project is coming under the contract that was signed, isn't it? So the contract has a lot of things to be taken into consideration. That's why the contract manager in this case is a bit more superior, considering his or her scope of work or scope of his responsibilities as compared to the project manager in this case. Now, then we are saying these people must always know their responsibilities and of course their limits. Their limits meaning their scope of work, so that there is no interference, because interference will always derail and delay whatever happens during the contract implementation. So ndeti manazona kuti tikachoka mbali imene yoyo timazaona contract administration processes. So in contract administration processes, there are things that need to be put in order, things that need to be arranged in an orderly manner. For example, contract documentation and of course the storage of such sensitive documents of documentations. You have documentations regarding the contract that is there. All the documents that are associated with the contract, including the one that that lady asked, the statement of work, etc., etc. Those are some of the important documents that are there. Now, these ones need to be stored properly, need to be protected properly. Why do we need to make sure that such sensitive documentations are being taken care of, or are being stored properly? Why do we need to do this? They can be altered. They can be altered or they can be tampered with. Now, tampering with such documents can at some point compromise the whole thing. At the same time, when you are administering the contract, there is always constant communication to and fro. This constant communication needs to have its own protocols, always proper channels through which parties can communicate. But at the end of the day, before the closure of the project, as the project is in progress, there is always a need for the parties to make sure that every participant of whatever is happening there is in line with whatever is supposed to be there. So how do you do this? You always have monitoring tools. So as part of contract administration, performance monitoring and reporting must always be prioritized as well. So must always be seen as part and parcel of the whole implementation program. Nkhani yovuta kwambiri imene imavuta pa contract ni nkhani yolipirana ndalama, payment and financial management. Now, you are the client. At the end of the day, your contractor will expect you to pay him or her after he has done the work. At times, as per your agreement, there may be a need midway that you need to do to make some payments so that this contractor can go and buy maybe some other things, or else can pay his workers and so on and so forth. So those protocols must always be in place and well defined, so that whatever payments are being made, they are being made in a timely manner, they are justifiable, and of course there are reasons why those payments are being made. Interesting story is here, risky management in a contract management plan. So when you are managing a contract, it is also important to keep in mind that there shall always be risks along the way. So, as I've always been saying, risks are unforeseen circumstances that will disturb the smooth flow of your operations. The normal flow of your operations may be disturbed at some point due to some other unforeseen circumstances. So those unforeseen circumstances are the ones we are referring to as risks. An interesting thing with risks is that risks cannot be, are always there, will always be there. All we do is to minimize them or else to mitigate them. But actually, you cannot stop a risk from happening. We are assuming that here is the manager, production manager, or maybe the chief engineer of whatever activities are happening here. Then death strikes, the person dies. Nobody can stop the death from happening. It will still happen. It will strike this guy down, fine. But now, what do we do for us to keep going? You need to find a way that you should keep going. Is either you replace somebody, you find another engineer to carry on with the work, or else you train somebody so that should this guy dies or should this guy leaves this place, maybe this one is going to take over. Just examples of risk mitigation measures, right? So, when you're engaging somebody, a contractor that is, keep in mind that risks shall always be there. And now, should they happen, it is to minimize, to mitigate such risks. So let's think of a scenario where an entity like this one has engaged the services of a service provider elsewhere. Now we are having our contract management plan to guide us, to help us in managing this contract. Contract imeneyo ikali yani kodi. Can we suggest ikalende contract ite engage muntu contract ora tipangire china chake? Atupe, you want to say something? Tifuna ababa tikani contract, tifuna tilembe muntu ati tanizo panga zinthu. Ani? Yes, that's it. So you should just suggest any. Sorry? Awara awina ujikaja kumada kantege gaje ndama zambili. Asimfanga bridge peleki mala. This guy has money. All right, okay, fine. So here is the project that we want to embark on. Then we've identified a contractor from Portugal or from elsewhere to do this for us, right? Hey, mudando. Chabu nitendi pezo omuntu akalenda Prem Construction. Okay, chabu tusankhani contractor. Awa sankha project imene fati pange. Now contractor waka kale ndani. Amena kuwina bid imene. Oh, Motor Angel. All right. Chabwe. Now ndeto kamba zona kuti mmene ino tikupanga this contract management plan tikuyang'ana napo nkhani ya risk. And risk amene angapezeka papa kodi tingapanga bwanji mitigate. What are some of the possible risks that you feel can be associated with this project you suggested? Some of the possible risks. Sorry? Okay, devaluation of the kwacha. All right? That's what this guy is saying. What else? Alexander, what do you think? So we're only going to have just a single risk, just that risk bus. China yose chenda kuna bwini.
What if one party is not abiding to their responsibilities?
What else? Okay, revocation of who is going to revoke the contract? Okay, I think that one should be violation of some terms and conditions that will lead somebody to leave the contract or to exit the contract, right? Natural disasters, that is, famine or natural disasters now. Well, how are you? Okay. Okay. You see, the thing is, it's long over there.